Well, well, well. Another day, more streams. So many more to be had, isn't it? Well, today I'm playing a bit of Chaos Zero Nightmare. Mainly because a new update came out for it, and it looks pretty good. I'm kind of interested to see what's been added. I know from some of the patch notes as well as the live stream, because yes, I happen to watch the live streams or whatever where they preview and go over all of the content, and honestly, it looked pretty interesting. I like the semi-existent deck creation stuff that they've got going on, where they allow you to throw in monster cards to create some kind of set, and from there to be able to, I suppose, gain set bonuses and new cards. I'm not entirely sure what the mode entails, but, you know, I thought it looked pretty interesting, as well as the new character coming out. Ooh, new character release. So for the new character, I was thinking of doing a couple of rolls, and I know, I don't know, I'm kind of cutting it close with the amount of rolls I have saved up for any other character that's gonna show up. So, I don't know. I am looking forward to rolling for Rita, though, but here's hoping that I don't break bank and hit hard pity or max pity again. I don't know. I seem to somehow do it every single time, but I will admit that somehow I managed to get Typhira, and I didn't hit hard pity for the first time. So I kind of impulse rolled for Typhira, mainly because her banner was ending, and as soon as we got note of what Rita's kit looked like, from both the live stream and from the notes, I suppose, the patch notes that came out, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe I should get Typhira. If I'm gonna get Typhira, I may as well do it now rather than later and just have complete inopportunity to get her when I want her. And because she's gonna help out so much with not only, like, this event, she's gonna help out so much with the rest of, this whole season, I figured, you know what, why not go for her? So, in going for her, I now also have that. So, either way, we're going to be playing some Chaos Zero Nightmare. I am going to preview through a couple of things first, mainly the new content. I have played a little bit, mind you. I have played a little bit. Let's swap over to my Chaos Zero Nightmare stuffs. Here we go. Here are all the screens, and then I can also pause some of the music as well. We've got, or rather, I've got some currency. I've not got an exuberant amount of currency, but I've got some currency. Question is, will I hit hard pity? I don't really know. Shall we take a look, though? Shall we see how this goes? I did somehow manage to not hit maximum hard pity, so that's at least something. And also, I just have to mention, Ivy is so cute. Ivy is like an amazing design. I really like Ivy. I really like Ivy. She's got a really cool design. Her whole Lolita outfit, really cute. And just the design overall, I don't know, I mesh with it so bad. It's such a cool design. I feel like there are very seldom characters that get this kind of a cool design whatsoever, so I'm not sure. But let's get right into it. I'm going to do a couple of rolls, and I am praying that I don't lose all of my currency doing this. Oh my gosh, please. Maybe we can get really lucky and just not... Maybe we get really lucky and not have to hit soft or even hard pity by missing or failing the coin flip. Please? Please? It's probably not going to happen to me. I don't even have streamer luck when it comes to this. At least we're getting Maribel dupes. I mean, it might have been better with Nia dupes, actually, because then I could have more of those, like, crystals or whatever shards that I can use to get whichever ego manifestation I want, because I already have a maxed out Nia. And my gosh, I really like Nia. Being able to use Nia in more comps, thank you. Please, please let me use Nia in more comps. I love the whole, like, guitar girl aesthetic that she has. Little skater girl.
He was a skater boy. She says he's your little boy. He was a good enough for her.
Here we go. More Nia. In fact, we got a partner as well. But we are getting a lot of Nia. Wait, actually, am I at 400 now? I am at 400, which means I can get a memory code. The question is, who do I go for with a memory code? Ugh. I don't know. That's the next question. I was thinking that Rita was pretty good. Oh, actually, I haven't hit hard pity, and I'm getting a 5-star. Oh, who's it going to be? Wait, please be someone good. Okay, here we go. Please be Rita. Please be Rita before banner. Please, 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 please. Come on. Is it Rita? Is it Rita? I think so. Yes! The first time I haven't hit hard pity. Oh my gosh. Finally. I started betting on rhinoceros beetle fights. What a way to enter. Hey D6, how's it going? I just got Rita. Well. Finally. And you're betting on rhinoceros beetle fights? How are you doing that? I'm hustling? Yeah, you sound like it. Oh my goodness. But that's the first time I've ever gotten the banner unit without having to get a hard pity and fail the soft pity. It's going crazy. How do you bet on rhinoceros beetle fights? Is there a dedicated platform for this, or do you like walk around playgrounds and like find beetles and I don't know, have them wrestle each other? So I don't know how this works. What's the... It's like Fight Club in some guy's basement. Does he have a collection of beetles that he uses? Anything like that? How do you determine... Do they have reoccurring winners and everything as well? Do they have an entire ring? I feel like if you want to make rhinoceros beetle fights flashy, you really need, like, a cool arena to throw them in. Maybe you have, like, a sumo ring theme or something going on. Now we bring our own. Okay. How do you determine the quality of one of your rhinoceros beetle participants or little subjects? How do you determine that? Okay, wait. Exhaust a card or against... I think this should still work in terms of being a viable character. I'm feeding mine with monster energy. What's the most... Do you not give them protein powder? I feel like if you were to give them protein powder, maybe throw in a little bit of creatine. Because mind you, they're like... Well, they're insect size. I mean, they are like kind of big, right? But comparative to some of the big bugs, I don't know. I feel like you could still feed a Hercules beetle, or a rhinoceros beetle some protein powder, and they would just be shredded. They would be absolutely shredded. Hello, Sister Brown. How's it going? How's it going? I'm playing a little bit of Chaos Zero Nightmare. The new character released. Ooh, new character. New character. And I've been collecting... I think it was this one, actually. Yeah, it was this one. Beast's Yearning. This one should go well, because, my gosh, I got some pretty gnarly... Actually, no. This one might have been better for 9, getting this. They can fly, bro? Yeah, but, like... Why not feed them some creatine and protein powder? You need to make them strong for the big fight, right? Did we seriously get 2 on defense. At least we got 1 on critical chance. Okay, then this one, what's this gonna be? Defense, critical damage and attack, critical damage and attack, critical chance and attack. I think getting critical chance high is pretty good, but we can maybe just upgrade each one of these once. Okay, that one's not half bad. That one's not half bad. What about this one? Can we get... No. Okay, that one sucks. Can we get this one any good? No, that one also sucks. Okay, I suppose it's this one. We'll compensate for it. And I didn't hit a single one. I didn't hit crit damage whatsoever. Just my luck. This one is my best one. Extra damage again? Why? Why? Why can't you just give me something I need? Okay. We're really gonna have to compensate with a lot of... Oh, I forgot to equip. Whoops. We'll do this. And then... Oh, but wait, if they can also fly, can't you, Oh, critical damage? Can't you have little aerial arenas to fight each other in? That could be pretty cool. Have little flying arenas for them to zoom about in. Okay, critical damage. Oh, my gosh. Just not a single one on critical chance. What is with this game? It hates me. I can never get a single good but okay. This time surely we've... No, this is justice. Never mind. Let's see. Maybe one of these will redeem it. We've got critical chance. Can we get... No critical damage. Can we get critical chance? No, we can't. Okay. You suck. This game hates me, I suppose. So... Let's go for... What do we think? Do we think, like, one... Wait. Is it only on one cost, or is it... What's the crit rate one? If we go for the set for... Crit rate? Critical damage. Is that a 2 set? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So we... None of these have crit rates. None of them have crit rates. Oh wait, I have one on Haru, but I don't really want to swap out that. And the only ones I have are defense and attack. Wait, is this one any good? Okay, we're gonna get rid of Luke's. Yep, sorry Luke, you don't matter to me anymore. And then we want one for justice damage. So unfortunately, I do not have everything prepared for Rita, but oh well, oh well. For main attribute, we want justice. There it is. Sorry, I wasn't seeing it. Justice, and hopefully we can get a bunch of crit rates. I mean, here's more crit damage. Is that... Nope. Never mind. Critical chance. Okay, this could be it. This could be crazy. 2-1. It's kind of good. We'll equip it for now. Or... I need more with crit rate, because I think my... Okay, this one is nuts, actually. Please. 1-3? Why? Why? They have to add an item to the game that allows me to choose which ones is going to be upgraded, or which ones are going to be upgraded. How it... Like, every single one of these, I don't think I got a single... Okay, this one has 2 upgrades on crit, and this one has 1. Every single other one, except the one that I stole from Luke, they just... completely lack upgrades on critical chance or damage. Okay. Whatever. You know what? As a woe is me roll, I do think I have enough enough for 2. Yeah, I've got 2 more 10 pulls on the standard banner. What do you think we can get? Hopefully something good. Maybe we can get a Typhira dupe. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be. But surely I'm not gonna get a 5-star underneath hard pity. That never happens to me. I keep getting this this girl. I don't know what she does because I don't think I use that class a whole lot. Please, a 5-star. Nope, no 5-star. Okay, and then we got another Nia just because I can, I suppose. Okay, well, we've now built Rita. And we've now built, I I did build Typhira a bit, but she's not nearly as good as she could be. In fact, let's actually take a look at what Typhira looks like. Because I have... Wait, does she not have a partner? Did I just miss that? No, okay, she has a partner. I have not really built Typhira because I don't know if this is the best possible kit that I can set up for her. She does have a whole bunch of, like, ally skill damage increases or attack card increases, but besides that, no, not really, not really. We can... Wait, where is... Is it in events? Where's the monster arena thing? Is it this thing? No, here it is. Okay. So, for this one, it is just a... Okay, here we go. The arena is where you secure monster cards through training, complete your strategy, and win tournaments. Whoa, okay. Training. And this unlocks me new cards? Hello, Mr. Blow! How's it going? Welcome, welcome. I just, like, panic rolled for Typhira, and then I managed to get Rita before I hit Hard Pity. The first ever time this has happened to me, ever. And that's why I said ever. So it's redundant that I used it the second time, but it's the first ever time that I've managed to hit one of the banner characters without hitting Hard Pity and failing the coin flip. Can you believe it? I can hardly believe it, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna try out this monster arena. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of the monster arena. I lost on Yuki E2. I mean, this is the first time for me, you know, so well, at least you've got Yuki, I suppose. Oh, okay, it's just gonna play for me. I've never really used Typhira. I did roll for her, but I genuinely select an attribute. You know what? Let's take AP, I guess, because we're gonna do Chrono Chronicle. And then we can draw an archetype card. I really don't know how Typhira works out. This is genuinely my first time, like, playing her. I could... Wait, so now I've got this, this resource here, Chrono Archon, and then I've got Chronicle. So the left one, I think, is the 2 free points, unless I'm mistaken. No, it's the not free points. So we use this, and then we gain the free AP. Okay, so it's left and right. Yeah. So then if I do this, do I want to do that, actually? I could increase it by 100, but is it really that substantial? I feel like 3 next cards by 100% isn't really that much in comparison to all of these cards basically gaining, what, 120 per cost? It's not that much. It would be kind of cool if this played a little bit more into Calipe's Celestial cards, now that I think about it. But unfortunate that we haven't seen that. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Do you not want to always guess draw 1 archetype card? I feel like that seems to be the strategy with playing Typhira. Then again, this is the first time that I'm properly using her. Because again, I panic rolled. I panic rolled for her when her banner was ending, so right now I'm just using the standard version of her. Draw 4 archetype cards, select and exhaust 1 card in hand. I mean, that's immediately going to be Hugh. Right? Right? I think so. I think so. So then we can just gain a bunch of AP. It really seems kind of nuts that, It really seems kind of nuts that you can just stack all of these. They really gave you every single character. We did some thinking about Rita, and it did not end in her favor for this rift. Do you mean the, Nebula... Wait, by rift, do you mean, like, the Chaos Manifestation? Or how do you mean? The boss itself? The Nebula Distortion? I don't know. I liked the introduction that we did get to Rita. And she seemed like fun. The Great Rift, the event. Okay. I thought she seemed like fun, so that was more or less the reason I went for her. I like Big Numba, and based on the live stream whenever I was watching the gameplay of her, it seemed like she could do a couple of hits that were like 8k without spending AP. So that was more or less my motivation to do so. So now I've got 3 extra AP, and I can activate 2 random 2-cost cards in hand, but I have no other 2 ones, so that doesn't really help. I mean, you can't decrease the cost of her fate imprint, so it would be nice if Future Decreed could do something about that. Why can't I do something about that, in fact? We can do this. Unfortunately, wait, did it even allow me to run my own deck? I don't think it did. Do I also lose all of my Chrono Archon if I end my turn without using them? Yeah, it looks like it. So if we use Chrono Circle here, yes, very cool. Those are just going to stay in my hand forever now. Quantum Seed, we're always going to draw, and if I get the same one... Oh, never mind, my hand is full. Doesn't help. Then we'll do this again, and we'll draw one archetype card. My hand is full. Nice, very cool. Thanks, game. The only downside with this is that I don't have my tried and true hand of playing Magna at the same time. So she just counterattacks everyone. Also, this 9 is really weak compared to the ones that I play. Okay. It's just about to die, so I don't think it matters. Do I use another Chrono Circle? I'm kind of confused so far. From at least the gameplay and everything, it seems like Rita has so many different cards that she wants to balance out. She wants to get a lot of Fate Imprints, but not a whole lot of cards can play her Fate Imprints. Then she wants a character to supplement AP in order to use said cards. Which is fine, but that's a lot of things to juggle around. Like, Time Paradox seems to be one of the best by far. She's probably easy to play, but very hard to get highest score on Rift. Like Kayron on previous Rift. I ended up giving up and almost left the game because I got really burned out after all the thinking about Kayron team and not succeeding with it. I don't have Kayron because I don't play male characters, but I can see the dilemma there, right? Like, at least my issue with this is that it seems like there are so many ways that you can go about making a team with Rita. It's, yes, as you said, it's very easy to play in the beginning of it, but I feel like trying to figure out what the best strategy might be with Rita feels a bit odd. Because right now, like with Fate's Imprint, maybe it's just because this is like my first exposure to this, right? But why, for the trial decks, did they decide, oh yes, Future Decreed with this specific Epiphany was going to be good? That confuses me. What is the 2-cost card in this entire deck that I'm supposed to be playing? Because Fate's Imprint doesn't do that. It doesn't... it just scales up each time. On EO 0, she can basically give you 12 AP with only her ability, not counting the Divines. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much AP she does build up via doing that. And that's why I kind of like these heavy buster-like cards. At least, I think so anyway. The question is more or less... Again, what am I meant to use this for? In this trial deck, what is that useful for? I have no clue. I have no clue. I can play Fate Imprint once, and that's it. I could use Quantum Seed to draw. Also, I think I was blind, but I didn't notice that it just let me draw as well, and then guess the correct one. So, Shield, Exhaust, draw one. Quantum Seed's like the craziest card out of all of this for Typhira's deck. Just a free draw one. Yes, please. Just duplicate that the entire time, then do another draw one that draws into another one. No pun intended. Fighting Spirit for sure. And then... we've got 4, which is, well, more than 1. We can get rid of this one, because it has the most HP. It's at least fun to kind of experiment with new characters and the like, so I'm not entirely, upset about anything like that. Oh, here we go. Now we can use this. Wow, it's given a purpose. And it uses both of them, so hopefully that just ends the round. Which it looks like. It looks like it. And then I think once we do this, just because this is me testing out the arena, I'll come back to this on like Saturday or something with more of an opinion. The Chronal Ascension, just ego skill here is kind of crazy. Just a free 6 AP. Yeah, by the way, use this. And it just lets you pop it. Okay, thanks. That's really cool. Me likey. Draw 4 archetype cards. Yes? There are no cards to draw. Oh, okay. Thanks. Then we can do Quantum Seed and draw into my +1 AP. Yes, thank you. Event Horizon, pretty good. We'll do Fighting Spirit. The downside is that my 9 is actually a E1, while this one isn't, so it's just attacking randomly. I never knew how useful Fighting Spirit would be when you can actually target it. Draw 3. That's a crazy amount to have. Let's see. Quantum Seed, and I think the guess is to always just go for this one. Thank you. Draw, +1 AP, Fate's Imprint. Then we'll get rid of this one as best as possible. We'll use another Hue Extreme, I suppose, to nearly... Well, we can use this, and then we'll get to see what her skill is like. I know it's just +6 AP, basically. And that's about it. But have you played with Rita a bit, Mr. Blow? Have you... Because you said she wasn't good for the Great Rift or whatever for the event, but what do you think about her design philosophy overall? I was kind of surprised, I think, that this is the direction that that they chose to go with her, because I don't want to fight this. I want to go to the Chaos Manifestation, please. Okay, yeah, cool. Yep, cool. Nope. Okay, thanks. Yep. There we go. Thanks. Cool. I want to go to the Chaos Manifestation, because I found it a little bit, not confusing, but I was a little bit surprised by the direction that they took going with her, considering she has all of these time abilities, time-related abilities. I genuinely thought that we were going to get something different for her kit, and this is what we ended up getting. I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, rewind a turn, like maybe she'd have some of the abilities of the Sands of Time Prince of Persia reference, and that's why I thought, oh, maybe that's what we're going to go for, but it doesn't feel like that. It was a completely different direction that they took with it, in fact. So let's swap out both you and you. We'll do Typhira and we'll do Rita, and then I can build up some of my own experience for it. I don't have their affinity very high, but that shouldn't matter. I don't rely on skill. All I need is luck. Oh, you know what I forgot? I can upgrade all of the environment variables now. I can get all of those upgrades. I completely forgot. Let's remove cards, though. I'm going to try and make a proper Rita deck, and we'll see how that goes. She clearly does not need heal. I have no clue what the points of getting the heal there is, but sure. We'll see how much damage she deals as a result of every single one of these I didn't upgrade her potential a single time, didn't I? Oh my gosh. I didn't do it a single time. I'm going to immediately rush towards a checkpoint. Yeah, I can go to the first checkpoint without... Oh wait, nearly without any issue, and then I'll do that. I don't want the random lame fates that increases your max HP by 10%, because I decided, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to upgrade anything. I completely forgot. To upgrade her potentials. I know that I've been grinding and farming all of the materials in advance for all of Rita's potentials, and yet I already forgot as soon as I went into it. Yeah, good job, me. Good job. We can gain more epiphanies. It really doesn't matter. I think it should have been activate 1 3-cost or higher card. I don't know why it limited itself to only 3-cost, but that seems kind of weird. I feel like once you get to a certain amount with their Fate's Imprints, how are you possibly meant to... Like, if it goes all the way up to, like, 12, let's say, how are you meant to get it to be even higher? How are you meant to get your, whatchamacallit, to be even higher than that? Okay. Your AP... in order to play some of the cards. It feels like it should have... It's a little bit of an afterthought in that case. Then we'll go here. Man, unfortunate. Unfortunate. We can do this. It doesn't really matter what we take. There's no new items, nothing to build my compendium with, so to speak, with all of these new things appearing and popping up. You know, now that I have Typhira, it makes me think, oh, you know, I really wish I had her instead of using Orlea, because Orlea had no drawing and no AP power unless you got a Divine Epiphany, and that was the exact issue that I was having whenever I was playing through the Great Rift. The Great Rift, of course, my Orlea, I just could not get a Divine Epiphany. I genuinely did spend maybe the past week trying to get a single Divine Epiphany that gave me AP as a result of one of her cards, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get a single one that did that, which is sucky, to say the least. I questioned whether or not it actually existed for my card, but then I see that some people are using Orleas that have AP. And I'm like, what? How come I don't? At least her card should have been 0 cost for AP, and then maybe I could have circumvented the whole AP issue that I was running into. But I suppose it's not much of a big deal as it is now. So Time Paradox was a pretty good one to get now, but not on the first turn. If only I had more. And then we can just use up the rest of these cards and see what it's like. Very nice. I think, when it comes to the Great Rift, I haven't fought against the new boss, but when I think about the Colossus and how difficult that was, it makes me question if they've made this one just as difficult. So I think I'll give it a bit more of a try this time around, at least comparative to what I did last time. It doesn't feel like last time gave me a whole lot of opportunities, because I felt like, man, my kits were really bad. At least you build the characters once for the entire season and that's it. But eesh, it did not go well for me for building some of the kits. I can't believe it took me like a full week of doing 1 to 2 attempts every single day to get one of Selena's decks, and then I only got a mediocre Cassius deck maybe like the second or third week in. It was not going my way with most of them. Here we go. Let's upgrade Rita. Kind of crazy that I forgot to do this. Like, I was on this menu, and then I was thinking to myself, oh, you know what? I need to upgrade her first. Only once I've upgraded her can I actually use any of her potentials and the like. I think her basic cards are probably going to be most vital, but also her crit chance and crit rate, so I'll probably go for those first. I thought I had way more of this resource, but apparently not. We'll do a critical chance, yes please, and we'll upgrade that nearly all the way. Let's see how, no, let's see how much I can get this up. Yes please. Ugh, no. Basic cards, I think we can upgrade this one all the way, and that gives her a bit more of a damage boost. It is nice that she's got a whole bunch of these nodes pretty cheap for basic cards. I know everyone has it, but like, not bad. Obtained through dismantling? Do I not? No, I don't have more, but also it's not letting me select anymore. Wait. Is it frozen? I can't click anything. What? Okay. Never mind. Give me a minute. I need to restart the game. I don't know how that happened. I was just clicking on a bunch of buttons and suddenly the game crashes? Okay. Very cool, I suppose. I guess it's to be expected if I'm clicking on everything like it's the last thing I'll do. Well, let's see. Let us see. Let us see.
Chaos Zero Nightmare.
Maybe this time. Maybe this time. Okay, let's swap over as soon as the game loads in. I booted up the game. Kind of weird why it just went completely unresponsive after trying to upgrade potentials there. Here we go. Lettuce! Hello, Soul6! Welcome, welcome. Let's swap back now. Now that the game is up and running after crashing on me randomly. Very nice. And continue upgrading her potential. I swear I thought I upgraded this one. Didn't I just click through this? I thought so. Okay, I'll use my potential disc. It's a big hefty cost, but it's some... No, see, now it's happened again. I just clicked on one of her potential nodes and now it's stuck. I can't do anything. I can't leave this menu. What? I clicked on her potential nodes twice. Now I can't escape. Okay. Wait. I can click on stuff now? Wait. Maybe if I do this, it'll take me to another menu? Yeah. Oh, no. Wait. Maybe if I click through this, then go through the menu? Is there any menu here that would take me to the main menu? Oh my gosh. Whew, I found my way through it. I guess I didn't need to restart the game, but what a weird bug. Okay, if I do this again, nope. It actually just freezes on me. At least I can click on this still. So, there we go. That's my workaround. Wow, quick fix. Quick tricks with Auger. And then supply store, I think I've basically cleared out everything. So I guess there's this as well. But let's do some of the chaos. Have you guys played the story? I actually quite liked the story. I really did. Oh, Zero System. That's right. I need to go to the Zero System and level up all those things. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about those decks since I forgot to level everything up. Let's go to the Zero System, upgrade some of the new environment variables, because those, last I recall during the live stream, have updated. Wait. No. It doesn't let me continue collecting the resources? Why I oughta... Man, what? Come on. Sucky. I'm a skipper. He's a skipper! What? You don't read all of the story? Then you missed the cutscene at the end. We got a cutscene. Man. We got a cutscene at the end. I kind of liked it. It was pretty good. I was really surprised that we got a cutscene at the end. I was like, oh, whoa. No way. Animated Rita, 9, and Typhira. And then we also got some Renoa as well. I was very surprised. I watched it. It was alright. Yeah. Exactly. I think, if anything, I'm just surprised because most gacha games don't really end up having cutscenes. I know that it's obviously a little bit different for 3D-based ones, but I don't know if I really count them the same as a 2D game getting a cutscene, since, you know, 3D assets are much, much different. The MC in action. Also very daring that they'd show the commander, the Protoss, just in those cutscenes. I remember when I started Nikke, and it took them, like, what, 2 years or something like that to finally say, you know what, okay, it's confirmed. The main character is male. Like, some of the promotions and everything were very blatant, like, oh yeah, the main character is a guy. But for whatever reason, they decided to wait, like, 2 years or so before they would decide that the main character was a male. He gave them the classic I believe in you buff. Yeah, through the power of friendship, they were able to overcome any adversary. And that's how they were able to do it. Very cool. I love the power of friendship. It's my favorite superpower and power-up. In fact, I feel like it should be a mechanic in D&D or something. The power of friendship giving you a plus to your rolls. Even in this, technically, when you do all of the dice rolls, you're gaining bonuses to everything. Just because it's like, oh yeah, by the way, through the power of friendship, your D20 gets an additional +3 from this one character because they have vague ties to it. I'm like, oh, wow. These vague ties, I don't know what determines it either. Like, some of them just randomly give me extra And I don't know why. I don't know why some of the characters give me extra dice roll bonuses. Because it's not explained anywhere. I don't think so anyway. Maybe I clicked through some of the menus or it's somewhere in the help menus, but I genuinely can't figure out why. Like, oh yeah, this character, they're just really special for whatever reason in being able to provide you with some extra bonuses to your rolls. Like, okay, cool. Thanks, maybe? I don't know why, but yeah, that's nice. That's the power of friendship at work right there, I believe. Very cool. Very cool. I don't really remember some of the epiphanies that exist. Also, they added a backstory of items? Wait, into the compendium, you mean? Because I know that they added the compendium for, like, chaos manifestations and whatnot, so you could be able to view that, and then they added it for the deities? But I didn't know they added for items. Oh. Maybe I'll read through that. I feel like I need to do a big deep No way! I managed to catch him while I still had the buff. Bye-bye, Senectus. Bye-bye. That's funny. That's so good. Fortitude or action? Yeah, I think we'll do Fortitude. It doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to build 9 in this case. We can, Oh, I was wanting to build Rita, but this is such a good item for Typhira. I think we'll build Rita. We'll just continue building Rita and we'll see how she plays out, because I think people are probably more curious of what the gameplay for Rita is like compared to Typhira. Typhira's been out for 3 weeks. Rita, this is her first day. What is she like? What is the verdict on her? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Selected combatants? Yeah, let's do this on Rita. I want to try to get as many of her cards as possible, but I really don't know what the epiphanies I'm going to be going for are. Like, I'm in my mind, the imagined epiphany build that I kind of want to do with Rita is try to play her with Nia, but I don't know if that's optimal or if that's even worth doing, because it feels like discard builds aren't so popular in the same sense. We could do 2 and 1, and maybe that's okay. Oh, okay, nice. Thank you, thank you. It's not explained why, but you can find roll buffs in the character stats info. I had no clue you could do that. Is that for specific chaos manifestations? I've always been curious why, for whatever reason, and why very seldom during some of the chaos manifestations you can gain additional rolls or bonuses to your rolls, because it doesn't feel like it happens often enough. When AP is 0, create 1 creation and destruction. Decrease the cost of those cards by 1 and apply exhaust. That seems okay. When a card is exhausted, randomly change... Wait, actually, this could be kind of nuts. If I have this with Rita, I can have that... Maybe I can build an entire deck surrounding this one card here. Where is it? This one. If I get Time Axis Collapse to just deal a bunch of damage, but then again, it is only 200. So, maybe that wasn't a good idea, but we'll see. It feels like they shouldn't have capped it out, but I know that it was solely because of Fate's imprint that was why they had to cap it out. I still don't think that should have been the case, but yeah, maybe. Like, if they maybe added a cap for solely her, and then added a cap for, like, oh, and the cost of allies or other combatants' cards, that would have been pretty nice. I wonder if they're going to ask for Rita to be buffed. That's one thing I'm wondering, or very curious of. I don't think so, but it's possible. It's possible. I feel like some of the builds, until we see some of the future characters, we're not exactly going to know what persists as being good in terms of character quality. Because Typhira, I think, has been a massive outlier, and so is 9. But if that's the standard, then that's kind of crazy to just think that's going to be a constant. I don't want to remove any of these. I want to see all of the upgrades for those, so we can get rid of matter disintegration, because I don't think it matters. I think you can check it out in Chaos too. Click on the combatants and their detailed stats. Okay, let's see. Dice effects, insights, +3. Gain a bonus for dice of insight in unidentified areas. Okay, and this one is trickery. Obtain a bonus of trickery in unidentified areas. And dexterous, or dexteros. How do you know what dice roll is dexterous, though? What? Now I'm uncertain. Not that I was sure before, but that doesn't help me, because I don't know what the dice rolls are gonna be. Let's see if we can find one at, like, the next area. Not this one, obviously, because this is my, this is the challenge. That is unknown? Yeah, because how am I meant to know what the different dice rolls are? I feel like they should have maybe deviated a little bit from Slay the Spire in that sense with some of the Choose Your Own Adventure events. Because why don't we have a more dice rolly system, kind of? Create 3 fate imprints, select and exhaust 1 cards from all cards. From all cards across everything? Then create a fate imprint for each cost of that card. When Chronal Ascension is gained, move all basic cards of this unit to hand. Could be good, maybe. Oh right, Wednesday is CZN Day. Yes, it is CZN Day. Welcome, Helios. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I somehow, and to share wonderful news, I somehow managed to roll Rita without hitting hard pity, and without hitting soft pity, and without having to do the dice, to do the coin flip, and failing the coin flip. The first time it's ever happened. I did only get I panic rolled for Typhira, and I got her on absolute hard pity, though. I got her on my 70th roll, but no dice, no coin flip. But I do know Mutant Sample is for Dexterous check. I don't know. I think I'm going to go for this one just because I can exhaust Hue. Yeah, select up to 1 card to exhaust. Very nice. Oh yeah, and then I get 3 from it. Who is Rita, new CZN unit? Yes, Rita is the new CZN unit. Okay, the stats don't really tell you what she does, but Rita is, if you've not read the story, is a character in this current season who has ties to time. You meet her future version in the past and her past version in the future, and due to lore reasons, she travels back in time in order to aid you, but then disappears. Peculiar. Oh, it's the cat with the big arguments? That's all I need to know? I'm so glad we agree, Helios. I'm so glad. But yes, her entire gimmick is revolving around play high-cost cards. Next turn, you gain Rita-specific AP to use her cards with. So, you play, for instance, 4 AP on one turn, you gain 4 ephemeral AP on your next turn. And that's her gimmick. Her, what's it called? Time Paradox card. Her Time Paradox card immediately triggers the AP that you would have otherwise got as a result of playing that. What is considered a high AP card? Well, you see, Rita, her basic attack cards are +3 AP, or, sorry, not +3 AP, they're -3 AP, which means that it requires 3 AP to play them, so you want to optimally use about 6 AP every single turn, build up 6 Chronal Ascension, which is your ephemeral AP, for Rita, and then use her basic cards to deal a ridiculous amount of damage. Do 9's 3 AP cards count? Yes, but Typhira's, that goes from 1 to 9, also counts, no pun intended, with 9, and her Fate Imprints count. So, the unique thing about her Fate Imprints is that it will do something like this. You activate one of them, it attacks, and it increases the cost of every single one of them. And there is no limit to this. So you could theoretically end up with, I don't know, a 10 AP cost card that will constantly keep increasing the more Fate Imprints that you play. I skipped the Twin Tail, I panic rolled for her because she looked like such an amazing support for Rita, and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I will go for Rita, and I decided I need a little bit of
Rita's all I need. A little bit of Typhira's all I see. A little bit of 9 in my life.
and I decided I would roll for 9 as a result, or for Rita as a result, and Typhira, of course. So now, for instance, I've got 6 Chronal Ascension. Yeah, here we go. Chronal Ascension, I'm at 6, which means that I have 6 ephemeral AP to spend with Rita. And then if I use this, it doesn't prioritize my actual AP, it prioritizes my ephemeral AP, aka Chronal Ascension. And now, because I've used my Fate's imprint, it has increased the cost of all of my other Fate imprints by 1. And now this is 4. But because of its cost, it also increases the amount of damage. So now, for every cost, it increases by 120%, but also, it, I don't know why it's 824. I think it's because I've got morale buffs or something on her. Oh, it's Glory's Reign set. Yeah, here we go. Increase the damage of exhaust cards by 30%. Yeah, so that's why. It's increased massively. Have you seen the new Arcana's kit on Nikke, by the way? It seems like a shotgun team bursts. That's actually good. There are good shotgun 2 team bursts in Nikke already. Let me pull up Nikke on my set. No! I left my computer on and now I've been logged in for too long. I have to re-log in. There are good burst 2 units for shotgun. I mean, depending on what it is you're going for. There used to be a pellets build, which is kind of what this new Arcana is doing. They're increasing the amount of pellets that she shoots at once via shotgun attacks, and that's pretty good for Maid Pravati. I hope that she'll be good as a buffer and as a standalone, but I really don't know. I just like her design. I do too. I think Arcana is really cute. And this was a mistake to use that card, because now I have 2 Fate imprints when I actually wanted 3. We can use this, and because I have 2 ephemeral, yes, I can use this, and now I can use time. Wait, is time acceleration even better? I don't know. Let's upgrade this for the Epiphany. Ooh, Divine Epiphany. I just like her design, but I think I should still skip her for the Annie. Thing is, you might just, wait, select and exhaust up to 3 exhaust cards from all cards, draw 1 exhaust card for each exhausted. Okay, that might not be half bad. Then I can exhaust my Fate imprint right here. And then... okay. Not draw 3. Wait, did I read that card wrong? Select and exhaust up to 3 exhaust cards from all cards. Draw... Oh, draw exhaust cards for each card exhaust. That's why. Yeah, I can't read. I'm incapable of reading. You don't really have to. I mean, it depends on how many gems you have and how lucky you are. If you're lucky, lol, just be lucky. Then you don't need to worry about whether or not you roll for Arcana or not. But yeah, it's probably not vital to get her. And if you like her design, then maybe. I can, with nearly 80% certainty, say that the half anniversary events for Nikke will be Overspec Neon and Overspec Anise. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait to roll for Overspec Anise. It's been too long. It's been way too long. Increased damage amount of attack cards, increased damage amount of exhaust cards, I think we want to do. Yeah, I think we do this one and that. It should be pretty good. I don't know how they'll make Overspec Anise super good, though. I really hope that she's good. I want her to be meta because I cannot wait to dump every single resource I have into building her kits. Though, even with Chaos Zero Nightmare, it doesn't seem like I'm good at predicting how many resources I need for for investing into a particular character at any point in time. Increase cost of 1, cost 2, cost or lower cards by 1 until used, then activate 1 3-cost card. We can do this, and then it'll activate that. It does make form convergence cost 1, but oh well, we end the battle immediately. The thing is, yes, I like her design, but I don't like most other units on the shotgun team. That seems to be her only use case. I'm honestly more interested in Neon since I'm into glasses big time. Glasses are pretty cute. I think for me it's a little bit difficult to like Neon even after everything, because it feels like she was only recently given a purpose by it, but I don't know. Neon is okay. I much prefer Anise. She's more my type. Just because she taunts other characters and pisses them off, and that's really funny to me. So, I quite like that. I should have used that in the reverse order, because now that's not going to work for me. 2 and 2. I think this just barely out damages. Yeah. Okay, there we go. But for shotgun teams, you can have Drake, but good characters though. Okay, if I were to say that there are objectively, so to speak, good characters for a shotgun team that you could do either Pepper or Tove for your burst one, then Arcana, this new alt, then you can do Summer Doro, or Summer Dorothy, and Summer Anise, and Sugar, possibly, but Drake is probably one of the better ones just because of her treasure. Yeah, I don't like Drake. You will learn to love Drake and you will like it. You will learn to love Drake. Why do I not have more exhaust cards? This sucks. What? I really need flash or something for this to work, because this is not gonna work otherwise. Let's see, what can I exhaust even? Nothing. Okay, select an exhaust, 1 exhaust card. I don't have any exhaust cards. Ooh. So we'll use this instead. There we go.
Bye-bye.
You will learn to love Drake. She's very funny. I really like Drake. Nah, give me more Gyaru and then I'll be satisfied. I'm trying to think now. Really, the only couple of Gyaru characters that we have is maybe Viper, who's also a shotgun unit, but she's burst 2. Though once you get her treasure, it is burst 2 repeat. You do also have Rupee, who unfortunately still does not have an alt that's any good. Tia, Naga, Rupee, Viper, I guess. I don't know if I'd say Tia, Naga, or Gyaru, but maybe. Maybe. I can kind of see it, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I would say so. You could argue Ayn. I think with one of her skins, I can agree, yeah, because I think one of her skins was quite literally, like, inspired by Gyaru. There is also Jackal with one of her skins. That as well has her wearing a very Gyaru outfit, so that works as well. Trigger Sacred Epiphany to selected cards. Yes, please. I wanna get this on something good. Fracturing Memories. I remember that just ending so many of my runs. Maybe we upgrade this with an Epiphany, and I think anything we get here is pretty good. Never mind. Not anything we get here is good. Fixed heal, really? Morale resolved? No thanks, I don't care. Hello, Silent Scythe, how's it going? Hello. When a retain effect is activated 1 Chronicle, I think that's probably better for now, because I'm doing a whole bunch of Fate imprints. But also, when Chronal Ascension is removed, gain 3 Chronicle. So when I lose all of it, and that's if I manage to use up all of it, then maybe that works. But I think this one is probably better. I would have to experiment between the two of these to see which one of them ends up being any better compared to the others. But it was really unfortunate that out of all of the Divine Epiphanies I got, it was that one. Not cool. Kind of lame, actually. Does that mean I should try get rid of Time Acceleration because I'm not really going for that? I'll probably do that. I know it's maybe not the best idea, but we can argue. This Instinct Ignition might be kind of good. I'm not going to use it on this one, on this run, but we'll see. Oh, but wait, I thought I asked, but maybe I just thought it. How are you doing, Silent Scythe? How's it going? How's it going? First time chat. Alert Banana Man. Hello, welcome. How are we liking Rita? I like her so far. I'm still trying to figure out what her best epiphanies are. Because so far, as I'm playing through her, it feels like Chronal Ascension, aka her ephemeral AP, or unit-specific AP, should be higher. And now I could be wrong, because maybe it's a little bit too powerful if it were higher, but when you try to make a Fate's Imprint deck, you just end up constantly going overboard and not being able to play a majority of your Chronal Ascension cards, or just keeping them in hand. So I think that's the main downside. Plus, if I'm doing, for instance, Chrono Circle to generate my first instance of it, then I eventually get it and exhaust that, I end up with an entire hand of Fate's Imprints, but that doesn't actually mean that I can play any of them. So it's a bit of a weird balance. I feel like very easy to play, very difficult to think of an overall amazing deck that you can consistently run with Rita. I think that's the main issue that I'm having with her so far, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's some weird combination I've not thought of just yet. I mean, this is like the first hour impressions that I'm having of her so far. Also, Crimson Sword might be kind of good for... No. We want to re-roll maybe some of this. Yeah, we can re-roll, maybe Chrono Circle is best. I'm thinking Chizuru activating cards every turn will help with that. I think so too. I actually got Chizuru not too long ago, so maybe I'll try doing that. I know that they suggested via the live stream and some of their posts that maybe there was value in playing Nia and Rita, but that feels really hyper-specific. Like, you're telling me that you have to get a particular epiphany to discard her cards in order to play through Chronal Ascension and Chronicle just via one epiphany? I don't know. Comparative to 9, who can really focus in, like, every single one of 9's epiphanies, or rather her epiphanyable cards, will have some form of variation that plays into, like, for instance, on counterattack, trigger Hue. With counterattack stacks, gain this. Gain counterattack stacks every single turn, etc. You've got 3 or 4 cards for 9 that all play off of counterattacks. But one of the suggestions for Rita was, oh yeah, this one epiphany triggers whenever you discard it. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't really mean she works better with that epiphany. By the way, you recently asked about things to improve your stream. If possible, maybe you could display chat. Since you're cross-streaming, it's always a little bit weird to not see the people you're talking to in chat, or I guess my chat was just stuck. Never mind that. Yeah. So one of the reasons why I kind of stopped doing it is because Twitch doesn't permit you to show YouTube chat, which means that I would only be able to show Twitch chat on stream. So whenever someone types in YouTube and I were to display that on Twitch, that's breaking their TOS. So they don't permit me to do that. And I felt it was like, okay, well, if one's going to have it, then I'm not going to do it for the other. And maybe just as a personal bias as well, when I edit VODs and everything into shorter form content or like clip stuff, I think it's easier to, in that case, not have the chat show up there. Oh, I see. Yeah, exactly. Nia doesn't feel good for Rita. You have to draw power and AP to help supply her passive engine, but activating her cards still also supply AP to her engine by also cheating out those cards with Chizuru. Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be something like that because it doesn't make much sense otherwise to have a singular discard mechanic, because even when it gave us the trial to play Nia and Rita in the same team, I didn't really get the impression that they even worked well together. Nia is very self-sustainable in terms of playing her own cards to get to that point, but it doesn't mean that it's the end-all be-all per se. Maybe there is some combination that I've just yet to think of, or maybe there's some combination I'm unaware of. I just think it's a little bit unfortunate that that's the case. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. They're probably gonna rework that epiphany. I hope so. I was lamenting earlier that it feels like Rita should not have had some of the limitations that she does. I feel like her chronal ascension, aka the ephemeral AP, should maybe have been a bit higher, because there's no way. I'll see if I can roll into or draw into Chrono Circle again, but let's say I just exhaust my Fate Imprint, I make it go up really, really high, and I get it up to like 10 or something. It doesn't feel like at that point that I'm ever going to be able to play those cards, and then Nia is like the only one who can discard to get to that point. Especially with Sereniel existing. Yeah, exactly. Sereniel is just like very self-sufficient, can draw into her own cards, and has consistency in that sense. The only downside is that she very much is a seasonal unit. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Is the game like Slay the Spire? Yes, it is very much like Slay the Spire. Think of it as Slay the Spire with hot anime girls. And then you've got Chaos Zero Nightmare, but also throw in like a couple of RPG mechanics. I can give a little bit of an overview, because there are some gacha card games that I've played which are pretty good, but I think this one by far is one of my favorites, just aesthetically and because I like some of the RPG mechanics that they have to it. But for instance, and I'm going to wait until the turn ends, because I've actually had a bit of an issue. Throw in a few furry male characters as well. To be fair, it's only one guy, but we don't talk about him. He doesn't exist. So, but just like a few. Yeah. As well, with there being only a couple of men in the game, there are like no others. So all of the female banners have been pretty good so far. So, to give a bit of a very general overview, imagine Slay the Spire. So, you're a roguelike deck builder. The game is fantastic, just so time-consuming sometimes. Yeah, exactly, with grinding out decks. So you basically play through Slay the Spire, which is a roguelike deck builder where you create a deck from the characters that you bring into what are called chaos manifestations, aka the different worlds or levels that you play. Through it, you have 4 standard cards, and you've got 4 unique cards. Technically, one of the standard cards, aka not a basic card, is also unique. So in this case, it would be... we can take a look at 9, since I haven't removed any here. Slash and Slash are her 2 basic attack cards, and Backage Parry is her 1 basic shield card. Then we've got Hue, which is her 4th unique card, but these are all unlocked by default when you go into one of the worlds. The other ones, these ones, Fatal Strike, Experience Strike, Counterblade, and Fighting Spirits, are all gained throughout playing the level. The point is then, as you play throughout these levels, to either remove cards, gain epiphanies, which are basically card upgrades, which change the effects or how the card functions, or their mechanics, and build a deck out of it that best facilitates a particular playstyle. For instance, if you're trying to play 9, she focuses a lot on cards that exhaust themselves, aka these cards, when used, disappear from your deck. However, when you play... Thank you for following. Welcome, Alert Banana Man. When you play 9, some of her cards will benefit either massively or not so massively, but in some way will change her playstyle through the use of exhaustion. So for instance, her basic card will increase the damage amount of exhaust cards by 15% for 1 turn, maximum 2 stacks. The implication being, you keep 2 slashes, and then you play one of your other cards for an additional 30%. So in this case, Hue is her eternal exhaust card that will always be in her hand. So it has no retain, and you've got each of these keywords that mean things, but we can cover them as like a sequential thing, or we'll get to it when we get there, right? Hue is her most important card for this demonstration, because anytime it is exhausted, it creates a higher level version of itself. So whenever it's exhausted, Incinerate then says create 1 Hue level 2, then create 1 Hue level 3, and then through level 3, it resets back to the beginning. So you've got 4 stages, and each one of them deals sequentially more damage. That's 9's main gimmick. In that sense, with Rita, as we're playing through here, trying to figure out what a good build is, but also what direction does she want to play, she's got a couple of cards that kind of uniquely define her. Her most important thing, and this is the case with every single character, they all have their own, like, unique singular buff. So, Rita's is this thing called Chronal Ascension. And Chronal Ascension is basically character-specific AP. That means that... oh, and by the way, AP means action points. That's how many times you can play a given card for a particular cost during your turn. Chronal Ascension essentially translates to ephemeral character-specific AP. And by ephemeral, if you don't use it, by the end of the turn, it's gone. Therefore, you want to try use up all of Rita's Chronal Ascension before the turn is over, but also use enough AP of other characters to build up Chronicle. Chronicle is the way you build up Chronal Ascension. So usually, and not normally, you build up Chronicle through playing other characters or even Rita's cards, but if they're unique... Okay, it might sound very complicated, but I promise it's more simple than it is. We can take a literal practical example right here. I have got 3 Chronal Ascension this turn. This means that I have plus 3 AP whenever I'm using Rita's cards. No other character will benefit from this. If I use 9's card here, I will use up this AP at the bottom of my screen. If I play one of Rita's cards, say for instance I played Fate's Imprint, it will use up my AP here. That means that I've gone from 3 to 1, and I've still yet to use this main one. You can think of it like a buffer in that case. The idea then is that you want to be using up as much of your AP down here as possible in order to play something like Hue, because it will build up Chronicle once all of your Chronal Ascension is used, which I did not do. So let me try to do that again. Unfortunately, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now, because I've used a card that wasn't unique to Rita as a result of me using this card, Future Decreed, increase cost of 2 cost or lower cards by 1 until used, then activate 1 random 3-cost card. It decided to trigger Time Acceleration, which was my basic, so to speak, attack card. That means that Rita has built up 3 Chronicle, so whenever I use this card or I end my turn, I gain 3 Chronal Ascension, which is my 3 buffered AP. So if I use this is her unique card, so instead of waiting a turn, you immediately trigger it. Now, I've got my 3 buffered AP again, which means I can use Chronal Imprint, aka my 3-cost card, to do that, to attack. If I end my turn because I have 0/0, I will not gain any Chronal Ascension for next turn. In addition, oh, I was kind of half lucky to get it here. In addition, some of the cards with their epiphanies will change how this functions, and I can actually show this via, I think, the exhaustion? No, okay. So here, for instance, when a card is activated, gain 1 Chronicle for each cost of that card. That's the basic functionality. However, when I upgrade this card, when a Retain effect is activated, gain 1 Chronicle. That means that instead of having to strictly play these cards, I can now play a Retain deck that allows me to gain Chronicle. Therefore, I don't have to rely on solely one mechanic. And the idea with Epiphanies, at least from what I gather from across multiple other characters and so on, is that they want to try play into different facilitated playstyles. For instance, Typhira can focus very largely on drawing a whole bunch of cards from her deck, and 9 might focus on exhausting, but that doesn't mean that's all they can do. You can instead gear Typhira towards playing a lot more AP, or generating a lot more AP, or more draw cards, etc., or you can play 9 as a counterattack build. 9 as a counterattack build might mean that she gains counterattack at the beginning of the turn, she deals more damage whenever there are allies with counterattack stacks, etc. So, main, I guess, question that both me and others are trying to figure out in the first hour, or that I've been playing at least, of Rita is what is the best build, what niches can she actually fulfill, and does she need any supporting characters? I think one of the main points of semi-contention so far is going to be, do you have to play Rita with any particular character to facilitate her build? And yes, it feels like it. There are some characters that don't have this issue, which is somewhat unfortunate, because it feels like some other characters don't need to do that. My 9 activates you when her allies counterattack. Exactly. So you can play 9 as a counterattack facilitation build, which means that if you wanted to, but you don't have to, you can choose how your playstyle changes throughout your time in Chaos. Now, one of the things to be kind of particular about this, and why this is a very grindy game in the long run, now, mind you, this is not nearly achieving, like, Warframe levels of grindiness. This is more like, you want to build a deck through your run through Chaos. What does that mean? That means, how do you want your deck to look like, and how long and how much time are you going to spend trying to get it to look exactly like that? Did you want to build a mirror, by the way, you said you wanted to? Actually, because of the Protoss sync system, I think I can just use that, so I don't need to build her as much anymore. But maybe I'm wrong. I was going to test her out. I tested Calipe, but my cooldown is still on a day, so I'll see what a mirror is like whenever I use that. Though then again, I feel like it's so unfortunate that Calipe wasn't as good as I thought. They did buff her, but it feels like you really need to commit to building Calipe for her to be good. How did you like Calipe? I think she's got a really cool set of like skills and abilities and everything, but she feels really underpowered. She feels like she was meant to be a bit of a defense unit and have a bunch of Celestial cards, but unfortunately she only has like 1 or 2 Celestial cards. Why I say 2 is that one of her cards has it innately, but one of her other cards gains it as a result of an epiphany. So she doesn't... Oh, end with 1 or more? Yeah, I think we do this one. So she doesn't have a whole lot of Celestial cards. And yes, you could just duplicate one of her cards in order to get that, but I wasn't quite satisfied with it. I tried playing her, 9, and Cassius in order to try draw into a whole bunch of Calipe's cards, but I consistently felt like she kind of underperformed, which was sad. I didn't like that. She was still... Oh, wait, I can exhaust this? Yes, please. It was a bit sad because I really wanted Calipe to be stronger. She doesn't feel like a very big damage dealer, but she's probably good if you invest a lot into her. It's probably like a Reen situation, where you invest a lot and eventually you might get a lot out of it. But I don't know. So it's like grinding Warframe a bit, a good analogy. Yeah. The only difference being that this is much more of a roguelike slash card deck builder game with RPG mechanics. So I would say, yeah, it is very grindy. You don't have some of the time systems that Warframe has, but think of it like doing the, oh, what were they called? The Void Egg things, or whatever, the Void Relics. Whenever you would do the Void Relics in Warframe, you would collect them, you would be granted a certain amount of items. You can think of that as the loot chests in this, for each run that you play. And you gain certain materials to then upgrade your characters. You then use those materials you've gained to then complete missions to upgrade your characters further. And then you've got like challenge modes and whatnot, which are kind of like... I don't want to use the Riven analogy because it's not exactly that, like the Riven mods, but I kind of wish they had a Riven mod. The Riven mod idea for Warframe was genius. It was such a smart idea. Yeah, the 2-cost shield gains it, and the 3-cost AoE has it innately. Exactly. Yeah. Has it innately, and whatnot. Calliope is basically a support for me. She just provides shields and AoE damage, some from counterattack, so I never really activate her cards. That's unfortunately what ended up happening for me. I was trying to do a couple of runs where I would play Calliope and attempt to make her into a damage dealer, but it didn't really end up becoming or being that, which is, well, unfortunate. Okay. So we've got some of the new epiphanies here. We've got change cost of all fate imprints to 4, increase the damage amount. Not great. Apply 3 agony to the target. Ironically, I feel like this vanilla one is actually way better, but maybe I'm wrong, because it's just activate once and then you can forget about it. Hey, forget about it, you know? I don't mind because her shields trigger a mirror, or if I have a lot of AP, I just ladder her. Okay, so the reason why I would think that she's not really a support to me and why I do kind of mind it, and all of them get counterattack and Hugh activates through her counterattacking. Yeah. I would say my biggest reason why is because there are other characters that just do that better. I would think Magna is for sure one of them. Magna has just innately, oh yeah, gain an upgrade to counterattack everyone, gain an upgrade to provide shield at the end of every turn, regardless if you have shield or not. Applies vulnerability to everyone she counterattacks. Applies vulnerability and provides you shield, gain fortitude, gain shield based on damage. She's just way more, like, she's very hyper fixated on shield and counterattack, and so building Calliope to kind of do something like that, it feels like you're accommodating a build around her rather than trying to build her to accommodate a gap that she doesn't fill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you throw in Magna into a team, she provides survivability and counterattacks, you don't have to play her cards. You throw in Calliope, her cards trigger whenever you use a high-cost card, but she doesn't gain it, or at least she's not guaranteed to gain counterattack every single turn, or you have to draw into them, etc. But Magna seemed like I actually have to use AP on her cards. All of the stuff Calliope does is basically free for me. That's where you're slightly right, but also slightly wrong, Helios. I did not find it here. There is an artifact that if you start the turn with a lead card in hand, automatically activate it. You don't have to use the AP. Of course, you can always make the argument for divine epiphanies and so on to reduce the cost of cards by 1, but if all you're doing is trying to reduce deck size, you're trying to use cards without having to spend any AP, you pick up that artifact, you throw Magna into a team with a bunch of lead cards, never have to think about her again. You only have to draw the other characters. She'll use an upgrade every single turn. I can show as soon as I get to the next thingamabob, the next checkpoint, what exactly I mean by this. Because it's, slightly right and slightly wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. You gotta believe me. You gotta believe me. We're gonna change this one as well, by the way. I accidentally used my my epiphany here. Retain increase effects by 100% until activated. Okay, that's actually way better with the Rita build. I'll show what I mean because it is slightly right, slightly wrong. A little bit of right, a little bit of wrong. I see, well, I'm basically just speaking from the perspective of finding a third member for 9 plus Amir. That I can kind of understand because, yeah, it does make more sense with her shield gain and so on. For metallization, whatever, one of those things. The downside is that I feel like Magna is just, whoop, she's really up there. She's really up there with just being a stupidly good survivability unit, and not a lot of content requires her, so she's not used for any of it. So I feel like that's the issue. Let's use Hugh here. And Yeah, wait. We'll use this because I've got one ephemeral AP. You'll see what I mean whenever I show Magna, because with Magna, the idea is more so that she just exists in your team, and then she just works. It just works, as Todd Howard would say. It's not a bug, it's a feature. And eventually, when I know it's like a little bit hopeful to say this, but eventually when you get a whole bunch of her ego manifestations, her counterattacks don't drain any vulnerability stacks, so you can attack all enemies, always attack for vulnerability, and with certain artifacts or gear, just gain like a plus 60% to 90% damage bonus on all of her counterattacks, which is insane. It is it's like really crazy how high damage it can get. The only downside is that it obviously relies on an enemy attacking you, and if you're playing a very high damage shotgun build, so to speak, where you just like load up, you blast all the amount of damage that you can, get rid of all the enemies before you take damage, it doesn't really help you with that. It's mostly good for like Spiral Tower of Screams, in which case there you have to kind of consider survivability. Again, I'm so tempted to just exit out of this and show you, but I can't do this without losing my progress, and that would suck. And I'm not a quitter. I would never. But yeah, idea basically being, wow, Magna cool. She's a dog girl, and when she goes on mental break, her screams sound so realistic. And this sounds so bad out of context, but you have to believe me. You have to believe. The VA for Magna was dedicated. The Seiyu went insane. It was like high-pitched, lifelike screams like she was being stabbed in the recording booth. Man. Man, oh man. On another note, why do devs like furries so much? I'd rather have elves or demons as characters. I have to agree with you there. My gosh, why couldn't we just get like... Why couldn't we get the shopkeep as a form of... or as a race, I guess, of character? My gosh, that would have been so cool. I really want alternative, like... colored skin characters, I think, is what I would say, or what I would call it. Because she's just so cute. The... Whenever you enter the store. My gosh. Her cute voice. And I don't know, Hugo is the outlier. I don't know why he's here. I feel like maybe they had written something else with him, but I don't know. I really don't. I don't care much for Hugo. Like 85% of the units are some type of beast girl. Yeah, but that's based. I love beast girls. When 5 skill cards are created, increase damage amount of the next ally card activated. Oh. Yeah, okay, we'll do this. Okay, so I'm a Monster Girl appreciator, so I will forever advocate for more Monster Girls. No furries. We're not talking about monsters shaped like humans. I'm talking about humans that have monstrous attributes or characteristics, you know? Wait, I know. If you activate a card with 3 or more AP, gain +1 AP would be crazy on Rita, actually. Oh, on card retain or exhaust. We'll just do that. I think that's probably one of the better ones. So yeah, I feel like Hugo is basically the outlier in this case. I don't know if we'll ever get anything else like that. I love Monster Girls. Yes! Yes! Monster Girl Enjoyer. Fellow Monster Girl Enjoyer. Yeah! What's your favorite Monster Girl? Nah, best girls are just a furry for people who don't dare to be honest about what they're into. Nah, best girls are just a furries for people... Are you wouldn't happen to be... Oh, Beast Girls. Oh, okay. I strongly disagree. Putting it lightly, I strongly disagree. Monster Girls are not nearly close to furries. They're not even adjacent. They're not even in the same realm in my eyes. I would never attribute those. Because Beast Girls is just Kimono Mimi most of the time. It's like beast claws or feet and then ears or a tail, and then you have very vaguely, or more often than not, you only have the Mimi part, which is the ears, and some kind of tail of sorts. So I would say that's not the case. I think they're very distinct. One is monster with human or anthropomorphized characteristics, and the other is human with monstrous attributes or characteristics. It's kind of like Final Fantasy. Like, you wouldn't say dwarves and elves are furries because they're not human, but they also primarily rely on human characteristics. Same goes with the beastmen. You have mostly human characteristics for those, and the only thing you swap out are the ears or add a tail. Like, you're not removing anything most of the time, except maybe the regular human ears. You just throw on ears and a tail, and that's what you've got. I don't know why, I just have a thing for pointy ears as in elves and demons and horns. Yeah, I mean, we love freerun. We love old elves. Around elves, watch yourselves, as they say. I love my little, my knife ear friends and lumberfoots, so I don't mind them in any genre of media that I consume. But as to whether or not, or as for whether or not they're, I don't know. I like them. We need more different skin-colored monster girls. Like, I don't know. Give me one with blue skin like they have in Puzzle and Dragons. Give me one with red skin like they have for the shopkeeper in this one. Give me one with wait, what more is there? There's probably like black skin, I think, for some of the Driders or for Arachne type characters. I mean, white skin is more like vampiric or undead. As long as it has claws and sharp teeth that can rip me apart. I suppose so. Create one unique archetype cards when AP is 0. Create one in draw and in hand. Activate retain effect 2 times on a random card of this. Oh, okay, actually. That one might be good. But I strongly agree. At least those are my opinions on it. So I relate in that sense. Don't get me started on vampires. What are wrong? Wait, what is your take on vampires then, Helios? Don't tell me you've got some kind of grudge against vampire. Blee. You couldn't possibly have something to that. Oh, okay. That wasn't the route I was thinking, but yeah, I see. Makes sense then. I love vampires. Like, I think I even enjoyed, I forget if it was Serena or was it Selena or whatever in Skyrim. But I'm trying to think, what was the earliest instance? I'm really not sure. It must have been long ago. That I really enjoyed Monster Girls. Wait. 3 AP, so I activate this, then activate Fate Imprint, then I can do Creation and Destruction? I think so. I think that's what I do. My man! I'm glad we can all bond over this. Wow. Unity. Monster Girls, unity. Monster Musume, though. Oh my gosh, I love Monster Musume as well. I love Monster Girl Doctor. I love Daily Life with Monster Girls. I read all of it. I read what was it? I think there's one just called Daily Diaries of Monster Girls as well, and everything like that. My gosh, it's so good. It's so good. It's because the monster is on the outside and not on the inside. That's why I love them. Do I want to remove any more cards from this? I feel like I'm kind of in a sweet spot with this. I could remove Slash and that might be okay. Barrier Deployment is kind of okay. Ishizoku Reviewers, yeah, I like that one as well. Of course. Yeah. Wait, I can't remember exactly because it was like, what, 10 years ago now that it came out? Oh my gosh. Didn't it get cancelled because of that? I think the manga is still ongoing. I don't remember much otherwise. I just know of the first couple of episodes, but obviously those... It stopped for TV issues, let's say. But I do read a lot of Monster Girl content. Oh, but yeah, in speaking of, she's really cute. We need a character like the shopkeeper. I want a character like the shopkeeper. Why can't we have cute girls like her? Red skin, pointy horns, onis. I need them. I need them. We need more of them in games. We need more of them. I want more cute oni girls in my games. Do I reroll anything? We could reroll. No. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And then we'll just rest. And then we can decrease the stress a little bit. You know, I haven't even realized it, but it's been an hour and a half already. My gosh. The only reason I like Monster Girl animes is because Snake Girls, yeah. I like kitsunes. I like fluffy tails. Fluffy tails are some of my favorite. Especially when they've got like 9 of them. It must be so comfy. It must be so comfy. There's like the Senko-san anime that was also released that like a while ago. Oh no, I'm thinking about it. One of the not first exposures, but Spice and Wolf. Oh my gosh, so cute. I really, really love that one. So good. Hollow the Wise Wolf. She truly is the wisest of wolves. She's so cute. Select to random cards or legendary. Okay, we can do this. Anything before that, however? Not certain. When Chronal Ascension is gained, activate this card if in hand. Whoa, that's actually nuts. That's actually crazy. Wait, so you can just do a really good retain build and build up a whole bunch of Chronicle through it. I guess you duplicate to have a whole bunch of those in hand and do a via that. Actually, my twin. We're all bonding over it. I'm so glad. Wow. I'm now thinking, with Rita, maybe you just play a really good retain build, but I feel like that maybe incentivizes using a whole lot more of Orlea, but I don't know how I feel about using Orlea because she has such bad AP generation. So am I the only Kitsune enjoyer? Or well, I do enjoy every single Monster Girl. So it's maybe a little bit difficult to say if I'm just one enjoyer for that. Either way, I still think Rita with all of these retain effects is pretty good. Where did my Hugo? Oh, where did my Hugo? Hugo? Hugo who? It went there into that. So I can exhaust this and now I'll add it to my hand. That's actually crazy good. I can save that through a discard pile or a random discard. That's not half bad. Blissful Oblivion is a finale, but ephemeral, however. We'll do this. And I'm still gaining Chronicle each turn through my retain effects, so I kind of still want to have that. Though, okay, that didn't really help me much. Whatever, we'll just use it now. I can't see how much it's on, can I? How many turns has passed since the retain effect triggered? So, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm thinking that a build combining Rita and Typhira, maybe even Orlea, it might be excessive at that point, right? Okay, when 3 archetype cards are created, create 1 identical card in hand and apply retain to that card. Okay. That could be pretty decent. I'm just trying to think, if I were to use this card again, Chrono Circle, I'm really not creating a lot or enough Fate's imprints in order to justify my current upgrade of it, so probably not the best. Maybe I change my build up a little bit there and see how that goes. Either way, I think maybe the retain build is actually the strongest one.
Huge flames roar and burst upwards, contaminated by chaos that is devouring everything in its domain, sublimating them into pure energy. Oh, I haven't gone this one before? Oh, that's actually crazy. Wait, that's nuts for Rita. Also, let's see. This is... Oh, that was my buff from the environment variables, I think. So the... No. No! no! I should have put the mythic one on Typhira because this one is actually insane! This one is insane! Oh, woe is me. Why can't I just get that as an effect with the God Hammer? That would have been so good. I think I'm gonna swap the Epiphany on Chrono Circle to try and focus more on this retain build that I'm trying to make. So, if I swap Chrono Circle... Oh, Divine Epiphany. I'm rewarded for my efforts. Apply 1 agony to all enemies and draw 1? No? No, not really. It would have been nice to use this one, actually. So, create 2 Fate Imprint or Retain, because then I'm always gaining Chronicle. I think I'm gonna do this. Chrono Circle, and then you just do a Retain build, and then I can have at least 4 or a couple of AP every single turn? What does the map look like so far? Okay, we've not got much left. I need to increase the environment variables as well, or get some of the upgrades so that I can find the new area. Oops, I clicked off the game. I don't think I have to remove anything else. Reorganize is pretty good. I've actually liked Reorganize, but I think I like the Dark Matter Lumen more, or the Ebony Lumen. That one, so good with its epiphanies to just give you +2 to a stat. Fractured Memories? We'll do this one, because it at least adds 1 cost. Or 1 to it, and then slash. I don't think there's much complicated to this. I think Rita, so far, has been pretty consistent in being an easy character to play as, or play using, but a bit difficult to try figure out what a good deck is. Because, yeah, Retain and everything is pretty cool, but do other characters mesh well with her? Kind of. She does require, like, a couple of characters at least to facilitate her deck or her build a bit more. So I'm having to use, what? 1, 2, and then I guess 3 technically because of that. So that will give me 3 Chronicle. So you really need to get the, whatchamacallit, Chrono Circle pretty early on. I wonder then, if you're meant to duplicate this, have to get to every single turn. Or you have 3, then you build up 1, then you keep those 3 in hand for 6 Chronicle every turn. The only downside then is, how do you end up playing those cards later on? I really, really do not know. I do not. And I think Fate's Imprint... No, wait. I'm gonna lose either way. Just take the Fate Imprint. Just take it from me. And I'm not gonna draw any card. Nice. Thank you. That was awesome. I really appreciated that. I need to figure out if there's a way to preview just how many times with Creation and Destruction, how many times I've retained for this. There should be a turn counter, I think, on some of these cards, because I cannot tell. I really cannot. +1 AP and then draw another archetype card. Yes, please. Draw 1 more, please. Yes, please. Draw 1 archetype card. Yes, please. Draw, yep. Yes, please. And now? Now what? This gives me +4 AP. Kind of crazy, actually, just how strong Typhira is. I feel like I severely underestimated rolling for her just in the first place. Man, how foolish it would have been of me to not have rolled for her. Please give me Flash. No. I guess Extreme is probably the better one out of these. It's still kind of weird to me how, for Hugh specifically, for Hugh, you can get like plus Fortitude or what's the other one? There's Fortitude for the amount of damage taken. Resolve. That's the other one. Why can you get those as epiphanies on Hugh? What, like, I'm not understanding why that's the case. Upon success, trigger Sacred Epiphany to 1 cards. Which one would it do to? I guess Future Decreed still needs one, because I think we've got epiphanies on everything else. Yes. Here we go. So now it's going to activate on Future Decreed, right? Let's see. Activate 2 random 2-cost cards in hand. Activate 1 random 3-cost attack card in draw pile. For 1 turn, gain 2 Fortitude. Are we joking? Why? It feels like this should have been decrease AP or gain AP or something like that. I feel like this one is probably better. No, because I don't have any attack cards. There's not really much that's good to this. We can take this one, and then hopefully I can just trigger 2 of the Fate's imprints at once, but what might end up happening is that I use my retain card for Chrono Chronicle, or whatever it was called. So we'll probably re-roll that, actually. Yeah, because Time Axis Collapse, really good, but oh no, it can't even trigger Chrono Circle, so it doesn't activate anything but itself. Yeah, what a weird epiphany. It feels like it should have been activate anything that costs a certain amount or more. And another divine epiphany. I was rewarded for my efforts. It's the exact same epiphany. What? I just skipped that. What? Why? Why? Nope, not using that. Lame. Lame. And then we'll continue. And then it's the boss, and we'll see how this goes. But I will show off what I meant with my Magna deck so you could see what I meant, Helios. Chrono Archon, and then... Wait, wasn't that 2 unique ones? Does it count in here? Where would it count? When it uses the card for an upgrade, unique initiation, but also unique initiation. I thought you could only draw 1. So it says can only possess 1. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm silly. You just can't copy it. My bad, my bad. Fighting Spirit or Convergence? Well, it's not going to matter because I'm not going to be able to draw anything, but we can. I should have done that in the reverse order. I should have exhausted Hue Extreme, then used Fighting Spirit. But we'll just exhaust Fractured Memory. Wait, I could have done it on 3. I'm a buffoon. I'm a buffoon. Foolish. Okay, Chrono Circle is fine. Counterblade. Unfortunate. Yeah, Incinerate at the start of the next turn, decrease. Okay, we want to use that, or we want to try get rid of that. So we'll use this and this. My gosh, that sucks. Select and create 1 archetype card. The next 3 times an ego skill is used, create an additional card. Yeah, we'll use this. I want, let's see, maybe, no, plus 1 AP wouldn't help me here. So let's use archetype Triangle. Triangle. I can be your angle or your double. Speaking of, I'm playing Devil May Cry 4 tomorrow, but oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We're actually getting to the points of playing Devil May Cry 5. I need to pre-install it for potentially getting it to it tomorrow. I don't actually know if I should finish Devil May Cry 4, then stop there, or play some of Bloody Palace for the next stream, and then just like segment half and half of my, or separate my streams entirely, or if I should half and half my stream, because I think it'll take me not too long to get through quite literally the last mission, and then just end it there, because that would kind of suck to get to that point, and then just be like, yeah, I'm done by the way, lol. So who knows? What will Sunday be? CZN again or Slay the Spire? I'll most likely be playing CZN, just because by then I'll hopefully have more experience with playing Rita and whatnot, and then I can show off the arena a bit more. And then for next week, I'm just going to be playing in my own time, and will instead be playing Slay the Spire 2. So I think that's maybe a better mix on it, because I don't know, I feel like I've noticed people sometimes see, oh, look at Auger, he's playing CZN again, and then tunes out. I mean, I am doing what I want to do, but at the same time, I want you guys to feel assured that it's like, oh, okay, I am getting content or some enjoyment out of actually watching it, you know? And I feel like, in terms of maybe discoverability in that sense, I think Slay the Spire 2, more people probably are aware of that than they are of this. Fate, Imprint, we could... Oh, actually, let's do that. Wait, did that trigger? No! Really? He had to attack Rita? I mean, what will you do once you're done with DMC? Just play through the universe? That's a poll that I have that I'm going to create for the Discord server. I don't... Wait. No, you're not in it. I'm going to make a poll for what people want me to play next, because honestly, I'm not averse to doing anything. I'm more than happy to basically play through anything and everything. So, I'll do a bit of a poll to see what comes up next, but some of the options, I can tell you beforehand, might be either the Metal Gear Solid series, maybe Bayonetta. I did have the idea for playing through some of the... Wait, what was the game? Maybe like the Halo Master Chief Collection, something like that. Or... Let me check. I do actually have a list for games. I could play through... I've always wanted to play Fate CCC. Maybe I could do a playthrough of that at some point, but then there's also like Bravely Default, Unicorn Overlord, some of the Etrian Odyssey games, stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch. Still petitioning for Golden Sun if possible. Golden Sun. I do remember this. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this game. I never played it though, actually. For the Game Boy or the Nintendo DS. I wonder how I can get that to work. Yes, that could be something that I can throw on the list. In case of that, well, I'll hold probably the votes in like a Discord server or my X. I don't know where people prefer it. I think right now there are actually more real people in my Discord server, which is 4 right now, than my X, but I don't know. The X one is impersonal. IMO is still one of the best JRPGs. I actually have yet to play through, whatchamacallit? I've yet to play through Mother, like the Mother series, and... Oh gosh. The Legend of Mana series, as well as some of the Tales of games. I remember loving Vesperia, but it has been ages. I genuinely do not remember much about Tales of Vesperia. Besides that... What else? What are some other big JRPG series? Final Fantasy I've not really played. Could we also put BioShock on the list? Maybe? I don't know if I'll, like, piss my pants out of terror. So, yes, we could, but are you sure you want to vote for that? Maybe we don't have to put that on the list. I think we'll do just fine without it. You know? Maybe it's okay. When Chronal Ascension is gamed. I thought I did get Chronal Ascension. How on earth did I get that then? But yeah, I could definitely add a couple of those. I think what I'll do is I'll have like just a list of games that people can suggest or like throw into a pool, and then depending on the amount of votes, like for all of them, if we end up in a tie, I'll do a raffle. I'll spin one big wheel, and then we try some of that, and we'll see how that goes. I simply expect not enough people to know about Golden Sun, and if I know it's going to lose, I'd rather vote for something that can win. Probably you've not got much competition. That's the thing. So, if you don't think it'll win, then yeah, maybe. But honestly, I wouldn't be overly worried about it, perhaps, perchance, potentially. So, fret not. Maybe, depending on the amount of people that do end up voting, it becomes more of a, it becomes a raffle instead, and maybe that's more fair. And then you can throw in, like, 2 games each person, and we see what goes from there. And from there, I'll decide. Maybe that's the best idea. Maybe I'm just a natural-born genius to think of that idea. Was your audience unks like me or younger people? Actually, wait, I'll put it up at post-stream, because I'm just about to finish this run, but I can tell you what my statistics look like. Because it's really quite surprising. I think it was because I played a lot of Devil May Cry, or I'm still posting Devil May Cry shorts and whatnot from my really old streams. But yeah, I think I've got like a fairly, I don't want to call it middle age, that sounds really bad, but I've got people in their 25s to 35s, I think it was, creating like half of my demographic, and the other half of my demographic was 18 to 25. I think that was about it. I would have to double check, but we're just wrapping up now with, wait, when using duplicated cards, all enemies' action count do not increase. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. Yes, keep it on. I'll check it now. Funk Soul Brother. Have I ever mentioned how much I love tea? Man, tea is so good. Also, if you think you're an unk, I must surely be in the thousands of years old as well. Surely. I mean, I still remember, like, playing Bubble Bobble and enjoying that. But the music used to stress me out whenever you took too long on a stage. My gosh, they really made old arcade and... I guess... I don't know if they were technically CD-ROM computer games or whatnot, but some of these really old games just had the most stressful music to them. You sure? I think I'm pretty sure. I don't want to reveal my age or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe I am a bit old. I'm older than I let on, or than my voice reveals. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to... Well, I'll also pull up Magna so that I can show you real quick before I forget. Her save data. So this is the item, by the way. When I'm saying, not sure I should ask a VTuber their age. Exactly! You'd ruin it. I'm 1,000 years old. I'm 2,000 years old. Here's the exact artifact that I'm meaning. Multifaceted Parallel Universe Nexus, otherwise known as MPNU. At the start of the turn, activate one random lead card in hand. What you do is you build Magna to have every single one of her cards be lead. Now, unfortunately, I could actually remanifest this so that I get the other lead card for this one. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, though. And I used up all of my rerolls, which is how I got this Divine Epiphany on this one. But essentially what you do is you have Magna, have this artifact, and just trigger every single one of her lead cards. Never have to play it. Activates at the beginning of the turn, and then you have this Ice Fragment one just so that it keeps repeating it, and you eventually thin out your deck because, yes, in this case, only 2 of them are leads, which is unfortunate, but if you get the other Epiphany for this one to be an upgrade, then you've got 3 leads, and because of this one, it'll be 3 + 1 leads, 1 that doesn't get rid of. If anything, I should have gotten rid of Glacial Iron Fist, and that would have probably been good as well. But I'm just trying to drive the point home that Magna is a character, like, once you've built her, you can throw her into any team, and she'll just work. She just works. So this one, also nuts. Increased damage amounts of counterattack by 40%. This one doesn't really matter. I also have the evade for it. And that one's amazing because it makes every single one of her counterattacks, well, 40% more damage. As well as using this one, now it's 70% more damage. They should have called it Glacial Fist. They could have just called it Glacial Fist. I agree. They could cut down the name on this as well. No one's going to pronounce Multifaceted Parallel Universe Nexus. Never. Never in anyone's life will they actually use the full thing. They're just going to call it M-Pun or something. So we'll see about that. Rune Lance, also really good, because after 5 action points, and technically once it's used the lead cards, by the time you've used the lead cards, these are 5 AP in total. So if you trigger all of them, guaranteed, or even by the second turn, just plus 25% damage amounts, and that applies to what's it called? Her counterattacks as well. So actually, if you activate this card, I'll answer your question in a second, D6. It's plus 30%, plus 40%, plus 25%. So you end up with 95% bonus damage on just your counterattacks. And that's not including the vulnerability, so eventually, and now this is why I say you have to be really hopeful to get to this point, eventually you get Ego Manifestation 4, where all of Magna's counterattacks no longer reduce vulnerable, which means that they increase by their final damage modifier by 50%, and then, due to Season 2's patch updates, she now benefits all of her counterattacks through crit rates. So maybe you get up to like 60 to 80% critical chance, 200% critical damage, and her counterattacks, insane. Hits every single enemy, applies vulnerability, then ends up dealing 50% final damage modifier in attack amount. Nuts. Really, really good. And now, to answer the question, DMC 5 when? Probably tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if I do a segmented stream or not, where because I've only got one mission left for Devil May Cry 4, or I could, like, spend the rest of the stream, like, playing through some of, I don't know, Bloody Palace, trying out the different costumes and items and so on. I don't know where the interest is for that, but maybe we do it just for the fun of it, because it might be a while before I ever touch DMC 4 again, since I would do it as a streaming thing. And it would be kind of unfortunate to continue on the game without doing that, so I'll think about it. Otherwise, tomorrow I start DMC 5, if I choose not to do those things. Otherwise, it'll be Friday. And then from Friday onwards, I'll be playing Devil May Cry 5. I still also need to download it. What's your Discord so I can actually vote? Yeah, I need to... it's in my About, and I'll send the invite link now. So, for anyone who's interested, where's the invite thing here? Okay. Chat. Why can you not, like, click on an invite link and just copy it? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go to my About, copy this one that's on my profile, and that one works. Here we go. Wait, there I am. Is it the special edition? Yes, it's the special edition. The 4th special edition, and the 4th game I have the special edition for, and then when I was buying Devil May Cry 5, I got the special edition for that as well. I think it was considered the special edition for it, but it also came with virtual DLC and whatnot, so I figure so. But yeah, I'll be posting the votes for this, like, relatively soon. To vote on what games you want to see me play. Otherwise, posting the poll in Discord. I wonder if there's a way to create an integration where I post a poll to X and then it connects to a Discord poll, or vice versa. I'll look into that, actually, because then I can try to get more votes from people that might be interested in it. Either way, yeah. That is what I'll be doing. I'm trying to think now. Have I forgotten something? Oh yes, demographics. You asked me, what does my current demographic look like? Where's my YouTube analytics? So, for my shorts, eat my shorts, I have, here we go, audience. My audience is primarily... 100% male on YouTube, 57% are aged 25 to 34 years old, where I have a 20% split on my 18 to 24 and 35 to 44, and then 1% of my viewer demographic is 45 to 54 years old. I have no 55 to 64 or 65 plus viewers in my demographic, but yeah, that's what my YouTube one looks like. Now we can take a look at TikTok, how that looks. Let's see, studio. So from my Devil May Cry. I put my birthday as 1920 when I made my YouTube account. Surprisingly, you then don't show up. you don't show up in my demographics. I think they must know. Maybe they do a guesstimate on your age at that point. Oh, I'm barely in that range. Yeah, it's quite a big range. Let's see. So out of the 5,000 people that viewed, can I see audience viewers? Yeah, here we go. On TikTok, however, out of the 5,000 views that I've received in the past week, I'm looking at 40% 18 to 24, 43% 25 to 34, 10% 35 to 44, and then the rest is like marginal. Apparently, I have 2% who are aged 55 and above watching my TikToks. So, yeah, that's quite something. Also, on TikTok, I have a 30% female audience. So that's surprising. I had no clue. But on YouTube, I have 100% male YouTube audience. Dude, upload the blue rant that will do numbers. Yeah, I'll upload it as a separate clip. I'm still editing my my past ones. I hope I can do it justice. I need to edit that one. I'm gonna spend maybe like Friday or something editing that blue flavor clip and doing that. What about Twitch? Okay, let's see. I think maybe because of my follower count, it doesn't let me view this, but let's see. If I go into analytics, overview, is there one for audience? No, maybe, no, not in research. Oh, viewers, discovery, maybe. Direct, notifications, or email. Apparently some of you guys are clicking on your emails to be able to join in the stream. I've not seen this. You should cut together a compilation of you failing the dice game again and again. Eventually, when I get to that point, yeah, it's... Dude, I severely underestimated how long it would take me to edit some clips. I'm learning editing as I post some of those shorts that I made. I do them in batches, so I go through, like, a 2 to 3 hour long VOD that I've done of my earlier streams, because I streamed longer in those ones, mind you. And then I cut them all down into what I think are funny parts, and then I kind of like germify it. Like all of the clips that he has, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something similar. I'm gonna make a bunch of compilations, and I found that just taking a single clip was much more better performing than doing my like 1 minute segments, because I tried to do a let's play and no one watched it of my Devil May Cry one, so I just kind of gave up on that. You stream on TikTok too? No, but I have considered streaming on TikTok just for reach and overall audience engagement. But changing my stream to vertical mode, I don't know. I've heard some good and not so good things with streaming on like vertical formats because of the age demographics, but maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. So I'll probably do that. I just post my highlights and clips to TikTok and YouTube, though I really need to try and make other content that isn't just highlights. Which tip? Just the... No, not that. What he's talking about is whenever the top of the dice is showing a number, if you hit with Yamato while that number is there, then it rolls and it gives you that number. So if it like rolls from a 3 to a 6 to a 4 or whatever, if you hit when it's on the 3, then you'll guarantee that the dice is a 3. So apparently, yes, it's not random. I just didn't figure that out, which is insane. Wait, okay, I'm looking at my live viewership and how people find me. There is 1% of my audience finding me from an MSN. Someone's finding me on a news website. Okay, I'm confused. How are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you finding me from MSN.com? Okay. How curious. Then... Okay, follower reach, blah blah blah, engaged viewers, new engaged viewers, web. Let's see. I can't find age demographics. Maybe it's in the engagement tab? Not me. I come here from my followed channels. I would hope so. That would be kind of funny, if anything. Genuinely, who's finding me through MSN? That's so silly. Is there nothing? Clips viewership, 100% are found through searches. No one's watched my clips through channel page. Well. Surprisingly many people from the US watching me. I tried to schedule out and stunt some of my my posts to my different social medias so that it would be like uniform across time zones. Oh, no, not MSM. MSN. Like, now. Yeah, exactly. What Helios said. Not MSM. MSN, the really... Is it old? It was... How long has MSN been around? I feel like it's been there forever. At least it's been around ever since I've used the internet. So it's at least been there since... Oh no, is this giving away things? Wait, no. Okay, yeah, I've seen MSN exist on the internet ever since I've been on it. So, the old live messenger on the computer. Yeah, like America Online. Before we had smartphones. Yeah, it's basically been around since AOL. Well, AOL. I think it's been there since forever, actually. It's been there since dial-up. So, it's quite old. Let's see. It is 30 years old. My gosh. How? Yeah. Goodness me. But yeah, 1% of my audience is finding me through there, which is hilarious. I don't know how you're doing that, but that is funny. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's younger than I am. My gosh. My gosh, indeed. I can't believe MSN is 30 years old, though. It really was around for the beginning of the internet. I can't find age, though. I'm sorry. I can't find the age of my average viewer for you, Helios. I can only use the YouTube and TikTok one, and those are 34 to 44. And what did I say? 25 to 34 on TikTok. I don't know why I thought you're from US. I won't say where I'm from, but I'm stunting everything so that you can't figure out my time zones. That's why. I use a scheduler for all of my posts. So I leave my Discord on online status all the time, and I use a scheduler to schedule my posts so you never know. W privacy? Exactly. Nothing more important than practicing privacy in this day and age. That's why I'm very against ID and showing. I assumed it was US. I live in the fantasy realm. I live on the ley lines. But maybe you're not too far off. I will not reveal it, or at least the Americas. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll reveal. I still think it's fun to have a bit of a mystery. Can I do analytics? Oh wait, no. Oh, never mind. I thought this was the button to find it, but that's just community and followers, so I can view everyone there. Yep, unfortunate. Also, apparently I need to reach affiliate for channel points and whatnot, so one more follower is all I need, and then I can add some of these new features and whatnot. Otherwise, oh, and that brings me to this. Really, I should have a macro that swaps over to this. That will be all for today. I want to give a little bit of meta news as well, not the company, but meta news as in like overarching news that's going on with my content creation and channels and whatnot. I'm contemplating that maybe in order to create a bit of more viewership, that I take more days off in the week. Instead of streaming 6 days a week, 1 day off to edit, I might do 2 or 3 days off in the week so that I can spend the entire days editing clips and posting those, and then I can try have more of a reach, but also because I'm trying to look into a bit of a model. I'm looking into a couple new assets and things planned for when I do reach the 25 follower minimum, to throw in some like sound effects, emojis, or whatever, and channel stuff. So I'm thinking at least 1 week will have me dedicating a lot more of my time to improving a bunch of the other stream features. Unfortunately, like, there's only so many hours I have in a day dedicated to both content creation and streaming, which is why I have to sacrifice one for the other. That's why it takes me so long, admittedly, to get through some of my older VODs, because they're like 2 to 3 hours long, and my gosh, I cannot tell what parts of my stuff is funny or if it's just really lame. I guess you have to overcome the cringe and eventually it becomes good. But, as I said, wait, am I playing? Oh no, I'm not. I swapped to my end screen and I didn't even play the music. I'm a fool! Yep, that brings us to the close. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, I can post the Discord link again. If you want to vote on what the next game I play is after Devil May Cry 5, I will be posting it there. I'll make a poll. We'll see how it goes. You can check out my other stuff. I post old clips, like highlights of old streams that I did on X and YouTube and so on as shorts. I have like 1 video or something. But again, I'm posting it daily. You'll see it as it comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with some Devil May Cry 4 and possibly 5. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!